Welcome to Unveiled Mysteries. Today we uncover the shocking and suspenseful tale of Colton Harris-Moore, the Barefoot Bandit. Get ready for an unforgettable journey. Imagine being so elusive that even the FBI couldn't catch you until fate stepped in. This is the story of the Barefoot Bandit. Born on Camano Island, Washington, Colton's life was far from ordinary. Poverty and family issues shaped his early years. Colton's mother struggled with alcoholism, and his father's drug addiction led to constant fights and their eventual divorce. Abandoned by his father and neglected by his mother, Colton decided to fend for himself at just 14 years old. His journey began with stealing food from local stores to survive. It wasn't long before he was caught. Colton was sent to juvenile detention, where he learned to mask his true intentions while improving his skills. After 10 months in detention, Colton escaped, beginning his legendary journey of theft and evasion. He began targeting empty homes, eating from their fridges, watching TV, and stealing valuables. Using stolen cash, Colton bought a tent and made the forest his hideout, moving it often to avoid capture. Complaints about thefts poured in, and Colton's fingerprints finally gave the police their first lead. Colton's photo spread across newspapers and TV, making him a wanted figure overnight. True to his nickname, Colton often evaded capture barefoot, leaving muddy footprints as his signature. In 2007, Colton was caught stealing a parcel outside a house, leading to his arrest once again. Back in detention, Colton used his time to study aviation, drawing planes and reading flight manuals. Colton convinced officers of his good behavior, setting the stage for another escape. Transferred to a child care home with minimal security, Colton escaped yet again under the cover of night. Returning to the woods, Colton rebuilt his tent, living off stolen food and valuables. Colton's thefts grew bolder, and the police launched a massive search, combing forests and nearby towns. Fascinated by airplanes, Colton began stealing aviation manuals, plotting his boldest thefts yet. Colton's first attempt to steal a plane ended with him taking off, but crash landing shortly after due to fuel miscalculation. The stolen plane crash-landed in a forest, but Colton miraculously escaped with minor injuries, fleeing into the woods. Authorities suspected drug smugglers, but were stunned to learn it was a teenager behind the theft. Colton, now more confident, began planning even bolder heists, targeting homes and airports alike. Colton stole another plane, successfully flying it to a nearby island before vanishing into the wilderness again. Colton often left behind muddy footprints or hand-drawn signs, further fueling his reputation as the Barefoot Bandit. Frustrated by his growing notoriety, the FBI launched a nationwide manhunt, declaring him a high-priority fugitive. Colton became a folk hero, with fans creating online pages and graffiti celebrating his exploits. Colton fled to the Bahamas, stealing a plane to escape U.S. authorities, and began a spree of thefts there. While in the Bahamas, Colton raided stores and homes, but his carefree behavior would soon lead to his downfall. The Bahamas police, with help from the FBI, began tracking Colton after reports of stolen boats and planes surfaced. Colton's recklessness grew as he started performing stunts, revealing his identity to locals in the Bahamas. While showing off, Colton casually admitted to being the Barefoot Bandit, unaware that locals. Police launched a high-speed boat chase to capture Colton, who was trying to flee once again. Cornered, Colton feigned surrender, only to attempt a daring escape moments later. After years on the run, Colton was finally caught in dramatic fashion and taken into custody in the Bahamas. News of Colton's arrest spread like wildfire, with cameras capturing his first public appearance in handcuffs. Despite evidence of his crimes, the Bahamas court fined Colton only $300, a leniency that shocked many. Colton was extradited to the United States, where a much harsher legal battle awaited him. In the U.S., Colton faced 67 charges, including theft, burglary, and plane hijacking, with a possible 10-year sentence. Colton's defense lawyer argued that his troubled childhood and lack of parental guidance drove him to a life of crime. Testimonies about Colton's difficult upbringing and his survival-driven thefts swayed many in the courtroom. After deliberations, the court sentenced Colton to 7 years in prison, with a possibility of early parole for good behavior. In prison, Colton continued his self-education, reading books and learning new skills to prepare for life after release. Colton was released on parole after serving 5 years, credited for good behavior and self-improvement efforts. News outlets swarmed Colton upon his release, eager to hear his story of redemption and reflection. Colton started a new life, working as an assistant for the very lawyer who defended him in court. In interviews, Colton expressed regret for his actions, sharing his hope for a better and honest life. Colton's story became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring books, movies, and debates about crime and redemption. From a troubled teen to a redeemed adult, Colton's journey reminds us of the resilience of the human spirit. Colton donated a portion of his earnings to animal shelters, hoping to give back after years of taking. Returning to Camano Island, Colton visited familiar places from his past, reflecting on his troubled childhood. Colton met with fans and supporters, sharing his story of change and urging them to make better choices. Colton attempted to reconnect with his estranged family, seeking closure and forgiveness. Colton frequently spoke to schools, emphasizing the importance of resilience, education, and lawful paths to success. Colton highlighted flaws in the justice system, sharing insights on rehabilitation versus punishment. The Barefoot Bandit became a symbol of rebellion, with some admiring his ingenuity and others critiquing his crimes. Despite his efforts, Colton faced challenges finding work and rebuilding his reputation in society. Colton gained success as a public speaker, sharing his story and inspiring thousands to overcome adversity. Colton admitted that while his past shaped him, it's his present actions that define who he truly is. From a teenager running barefoot through dense forests, Colton became a symbol of defiance and determination. In a quiet park, Colton reflected on how far he'd come, from a troubled teen to a man seeking peace. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more amazing stories on Unveiled Mysteries.